they lost. For the Saints, meanwhile, the narrative in recent years has also been familiar. You've alluded to it. Dominant at home, questionable on the road. Kickoff is just about upon us. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya standing by, as is Carrie Underwood. Saints and Cowboys coming up, and we'll see you at halftime.
This has been
North Texas. The roof is closed as the New Orleans Saints and Dallas Cowboys are set to battle it out on Sunday Night Football. About a half-hour drive from downtown Dallas, here in Arlington, AT&T Stadium, home of the Cowboys since 2009. Good one brewing tonight. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints come to town to take on Tony Romo and his Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. The Cowboys come in with a record of 2-1, come off a great comeback win, erasing a 21-point deficit last week at St. Louis. But questions still abound about their defense. Last year, their defense was the most porous in the league. But Tony Romo, who ended last season on an operating table, is back and has looked pretty good so far. Meanwhile, the Saints with two excruciating losses to open the season, one in overtime, one in the final 3 seconds, but went home to the friendly confines of the Superdome last week to get healthy, beat Minnesota. Now they're back on the road again to try to get even at 500 with 2 wins and 2 losses. And tonight they take on the Cowboys. We saw this game last year in New Orleans, Chris, and the Saints just steamrolled the Cowboys. 40 first downs. What do you expect from them tonight?
Well, first of all, Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham, this offense, it's just a given. They're going to score points. But defensively, while they played well last week at home, they've struggled in 2 road losses. A couple of new members in that secondary, maybe that has a little something to do with it. But they're going to have to play better on the road here tonight to come out of here with a win.
Then there were the Cowboys. We followed them for years. You're going to get the good, you're going to get the ugly, you're going to get the mediocre, you're going to get the horrible. We've seen everything in the first week. What do you think of these Cowboys?
Well, the Cowboys really made big changes this offseason. They wanted to take pressure off their defense that finished last a season ago, wanted to take pressure off Tony Romo, who came off the back surgery. Really wanted to focus in on their run game, and it's paid off. So far, DeMarco Murray is the leading rusher in the National Football League. So the Cowboys not necessarily looking for a shootout here tonight.
I am. I think the scoreboard operator is going to be very busy. A lot of fireworks could be ahead. Saints Cowboys on Sunday Night Football.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Federal Credit Union, serving the armed forces and their families. League.
Los Santos de Nueva Orleans contra los Vaqueros de Dallas en Sunday Night Football.
And with that nod to Hispanic Heritage Month, Let's go to Michelle Tafoy with Tony Romo. Michelle.
Al, thank you, Tony. The Cowboys offense has gone from a pass-oriented offense to a running offense. What has that change in philosophy done for you?
Well, we're just trying to do what the defense gives us. And, you know, if they want to load the box, we'll throw the ball. And if not, we're going to run the football. And we've been very successful with that. We'll try and keep doing that tonight.
Last December, you had back surgery. Physically, where are you now as compared to week 1 of the season?
It's a night and day from the first week, and hopefully it'll just keep getting better and better.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks.
And the Cowboys get 3 key defensive players back tonight. Linebackers Rolando McClain and Justin Durant both returned from groin injuries. And defensive end Anthony Spencer will see the field for the first time since week 2 of last season after undergoing knee surgery, Al.
Thank you, Michelle. He can make a big difference as we head down toward October and November and December. Meanwhile, the Saints, 49-17 was the final last year in New Orleans. 625 total yards, most ever gained by the Saints, most ever given up by the Cowboys. An unheard of 40 first downs. That set an NFL record, and they were the first team since the '66 Cowboys to gain 625 and score 7 touchdowns. Jason Garrett now in his 4th full season as the head coach in Dallas. Sean Payton went to New Orleans in 2006 and has had a tremendous amount of success. Thomas Morstead will kick off. Interesting to note, most teams these days, when they win the toss, defer, but not the Cowboys. They have not deferred. They won the toss. They've elected to receive. They don't want to start behind 3-0 or 7-0.
Yeah, and this Saints offense, sometimes you get behind them and it ends up being a really long night. They experienced that a season ago.
So Bryant getting ready as the offense will be coming out after the Dallas Cowboys receive the opening kick. There's Jason Witten, longtime tight end. Morstead, who is their punter. Shane Graham is their kicker, but Morstead has the kickoff duties. Played his college football up in Big D at SMU. And off we go from AT&T Stadium. And we start with a touchback. And so the Dallas Cowboys will take over at the 20-yard line. And here are their starters.
Tony Romo, Eastern Illinois University.
DeMarco Murray, Oklahoma.
Dez Bryant, Oklahoma State.
Terrence Williams, Baylor.
Jason Witten, Tennessee.
James Hanna, Oklahoma.
Tyre Smith, USC. Ronald Leary, University of Memphis.
Travis Frederick, Wisconsin.
Zach Martin, Notre Dame.
Doug Free, Northern Illinois University.
That offensive line has been rebuilt over the past 4 years and is now one of the better ones in the league. DeMarco Murray, even counting today's games, is the leading rusher in the league. Came into the weekend on top. And when you throw in what everybody did today in the afternoon games, he is still on top. And out of the pistol, they start with Murray. And that's a gain of 2 up to the 22-yard line. Broderick Bunkley makes the stop. So Murray, a great back. There's no question about that. Can do so many things and do them well. 5.1 average is terrific. But the problem has been fumbling. He's fumbled in each of the last 3 games, and he fumbled in his last game last season.
Yeah, so 4 in a row and all in the first quarter. So obviously the focus of attention here to start this one.
And on 2nd and 9, off the play fake, Romo throws. He's been terrific on play action the last couple of weeks. And Terrence Williams makes the catch up at the 36-yard line for a Cowboy first down.
Well, here's what the running game does for you here, though, because they have so many people now committed to try and stop the running game. You get a one-on-one route down the field against Corey White, and if you're Tony Romo and you get the ball out quickly, it works.
Come up in a 2 tight end set here with Witten and Escobar. Escobar was in the slot. To the left side goes Murray up to the 37-yard line for a gain of 1. Tony Romo, who missed the last game last season when he had that back surgery, 31 straight games, or almost the equivalent of 2 full seasons with a touchdown pass. Drew Brees holds that record with a 54-game streak. And on 2nd and 9, stacking 2 receivers to the left. Romo looks that way, then goes over the middle, and the catch is made by Gavin Escobar. the number 2 tight end. He was picked in the 2nd round out of San Diego State last year. Curtis Lofton makes the tackle. Upcoming is 3rd and 3.
Well, one thing you know, Rob Ryan's not going to let Des Bryant beat him. They doubled him a season ago, had him doubled here again, so now you've got to find plan B, and there it is. Gavin Escobar over the middle. So right now, the Dallas Cowboys checking out what Rob Ryan does to all these different looks. They just went spread, and it was effective.
Ryan, the defensive coordinator, was here and got fired 2 years ago, went over to the Sean Payton. 3rd and 2. Romo with that pump fake. Scrambles, tries to get out, as he does so often. We've seen this a million times. Flag is down for the moment the catch is made. But you saw the flag at the 40-yard line where Witten made the catch. And the Cowboys are moving downfield, everybody indicating it's going to be on the defense.
First of all, an incredible play by Tony Romo. But it was almost hilarious watching Jason Witten, who got knocked down the field, turned around, pointed to the official. The official threw the flag. Witten got up and made the play.
To the pass, illegal contact, defense number 31. Penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
That's Gene's
Would the game
territory.
clock operator please reset the game clock to 12 minutes and 20 seconds.
So there's the knockdown. Witten begs for the flag, gets it, gets up, starts scrambling around. But this is really the story. Tony Romo in week 1 could not have done this. He did not look like this. Now he's back to moving around, little escapability, and they desperately needed to see that out of Romo.
When Witten got the flag, that would have been worth 5 yards. Then he gets up and turns it into a 16-yard gain at the Saints 41-yard line. Good fake to Murray, and then the pass goes to him. And Murray is out of bounds in front of the Saint bench at the 35. Let's take a look at the Saints starters.
Akeem Hicks, University of Regina, Saskatchewan.
Broderick Bonklin, Florida State University.
Cameron Jordan, UC Berkeley.
Junior Gervais Gillette, Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Ramon Humber, Bison.
Curtis Lofton, Oklahoma.
Paris Harrelson, Tennessee.
Keenan Lewis, West Bank.
Kenny Vaccaro, Texas.
Jarris Byrd, Oregon.
Corey White, Stanford University.
And Byrd, the Pro Bowl safety, the big offseason pickup from the Buffalo Bills, as Murray puts his head down but gets slung back by Curtis Lofton, the ex-Falcon, 7th year in the league and 3rd with the Saints. Scott Linehan, there he is. He was the head coach at St. Louis a few years back, but now he is not the offensive coordinator, he's the passing game coordinator, but as you can see, he's the guy calling the plays this year.
Yeah, and it has been some major changes. A few years ago, Jerry Jones made the decision he didn't want Jason Garrett calling the plays, wanted him to be a head coach, and it has been an evolution of who's been calling plays since then. We'll get into it.
And you see last year they were 0 for 9 on 3rd down. They've already converted on 3rd down tonight. Now they try to do it again on 3rd and the deuce, and they will as the catch is made by Jason Witten, the security blanket, his main man, 12 years in the league for Witten.
Well, tight ends sometimes can be too strong for safeties. Watch Jason Witten basically kind of just push off just a bit against Kenny Vaccaro, one of the strongest safeties that there is. But anytime you have somebody that is that much bigger and he can get a little separation just by giving that little nudge, gave Tony Romo all he needed.
Nice opening drive for the Cowboys. It's the 9th play, 3 runs, 5 passes, and Romo is 5 for 5 for 52 yards. Only a 3-man rush. Tony has time, throws outside, catch made. That's Dwayne Harris making the grab. He's tackled there by the cornerback Corey White.
Well, one of the things that when you talk about the New Orleans Saints defensively, I always thought one of their key guys was Keenan Lewis in the secondary. He is the closest thing to a shutdown corner that Rob Ryan has, and it is going to be some matchup tonight between Keenan Lewis and Des Bryant. A week ago, Keenan Lewis was on Cordero Patterson, an outstanding young receiver in this league, and he is the guy. They play one-on-one a lot over there so they can rotate that defense the other way.
Lewis, former Steeler, but he's from New Orleans and wanted to go home, signed as a free agent. And here goes Murray through the middle with a big hole to set up a first down and goal. DeMarco Murray. Humber makes the tackle. Escobar helps to lead the way, the tight end with a block, 1st and goal.
The offensive lineman that probably gets the least amount of attention on this offensive line, Doug Free. Look at that block, just taking his guy, washing him all the way down, and then DeMarco Murray doing the rest.
Now the 11th play of this drive. So they won the toss, elected to receive, and so far so good for the Cowboys as they try to cash in. And they give it to Murray, and Murray gets backed up and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Akeem Hicks makes the tackle. So Drew Brees is sitting and waiting, but this is exactly what the Cowboys want to do. Not only have an effective looking offense, which they have obviously on this drive, but chew up a lot of clock.
You know, we have just seen it so often now that when you get behind the New Orleans Saints, it just seems like you can never dig your way out of it. So it's a big difference on this drive between scoring a touchdown and kicking a field goal.
This drive going into his 8th minute. There's the delayed handoff, and then Romo throws, and it is caught in the end zone by Terrence Williams for the touchdown. A beautiful opening drive. Romo winds up 7 for 7. Murray carries 5 times. They go 80 yards in 12 plays.
Everybody thinks about Terrence Williams being the speedster, but this is how you make your chops in the National Football League. You go up, you know you're going to take a big shot, and you make the play. You see the double coverage on Dez Bryant. Tony Romo has figured out already, let's not go there, let's look away. He was telling us on Friday we feel like our other matchups look really good in this one. What a drive.
Dan Bailey for the extra point. And for Terrence Williams, his 3rd touchdown of the season. Romo's 5th touchdown pass of the season. 7-0 Cowboys. Southwest Airlines, without a heart, it's just a machine. By the Lexus GX, dare to be spontaneous. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Mariachi's outside the stadium, a lot going on in the Metroplex. Texas State Fair taking place, opening this weekend. There was a game here yesterday between Texas A&M and Arkansas that went to overtime with A&M winning, and tonight it's the Cowboys off to a good start against the Saints. And this is a bouncing ball that will be downed in the end zone by Travaris Cadet. Drew Brees and his gang ready to go to work for the first time tonight when we come back to Sunday Night Football. Don't miss a moment of Sunday Night Football this season with NBC Sports Live Extra. Take the game with you anywhere online and on tablet. Kind of interesting, even before the Dallas defense got set, Rolando McClain, who was a game-time decision, came out, and then when they saw who the offensive starters were for the Saints, they took him out and put Mo Claiborne in, who had been benched during the week. So already a change for the Dallas defense as Kyrie Robinson picks up 4 yards, taking it out to the 24. Drew Brees, boy, sharp as ever, 14 years in the league. Started with San Diego as their number 2 draft choice, played behind Doug Flutie at the beginning of his career. Decided to sign with New Orleans post-Katrina in 06. Went there with Sean Payton. They've got a Super Bowl trophy and a lot of success. Now McClain is back in the game for Dallas. Brees climbs the pocket. Flag is down. Pass is incomplete off the hands of Jimmy Graham. Flag down at the 34-yard line. And we'll get the call from Gene Steratore.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 32. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And that's Orlando Scandrick.
Orlando Scandrick, who's taking over as the starter. You can't tug the jersey. You have to remember, and I assume all NFL players know this, that there is an official on the field that is assigned to every eligible receiver. So anytime that jersey gets tugged, 100% of the time you're going to get caught. So don't know why they keep doing it.
Well, maybe 99.6. Somebody may miss it once in a while.
That's really a good point.
It's not that good. Breeze climbs up again, and the pass is incomplete. Flag is down again. That's Marcus Colston, Barry Church, and Skandrick, after starting to clap their hands, now look around and go, huh?
Prior to the pass, illegal contact. Defense number 52. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Linebacker Justin Durant.
Durant coming back from a groin injury a week ago. He was out. There he is right there. Just going to grab as he goes by. Another good call. Tough to cover all these guys, although in back-to-back plays now, it's been probably the most sure-handed receivers that they have. Jimmy Graham and then Marcus Colston, both dropping balls they ordinarily catch.
But 2 penalties on those plays, thus a first down from the 34. Here comes the blitz, and he's swinging out to Travaris Cadet. And Cadet up to the 41, tackled by Church. Let's take a look at the Saints starters.
Drew Brees, Purdue Boilermakers. Kyrie Robinson, Wasabi Reigns.
Marcus Colston, Hofstra University.
Brandon Cooks, Oregon State.
Kenny Stills, University of Oklahoma.
Jimmy Graham, the U.
Teron Armstead, The Yard.
Ben Grubbs, Auburn University.
Jonathan Goodwin, Michigan.
Jari Evans, Bloomsburg University. Zach Streif, Northwestern.
Maybe the best tandem of guards in the league. Grubbs and Evans. They're swinging out here to Cooks, and he takes it to the 41-yard line. He's a rookie, drafted out of Oregon State, and turned 21 years old this week. Sean Payton, head coach, and the play caller. Familiar chart.
A lot of highlights on there, and one of the highlights is Brandon Cooks, who is sort of taking over that Darren Sproles role, don't you think? A guy they're trying to just get the ball to in space a little bit, let him make some plays. One of the fastest guys at the combine, about 4.33. He can really move.
He and Travaris Cadet both filling that role as Sproles left to go to Philadelphia. And Breeze is able to get out of trouble and pick up a first down up at the 49-yard line. And that is Claiborne, Mo Claiborne, who is down. So Mo in and out of the news this week. Was demoted the other day. Left camp, came back, and now we have an injury timeout for him. Claiborne would like to forget about this week, leaving camp when he was demoted, but he actually wound up starting tonight, at least for the first play of the game. Then he gets hurt here, Chris.
Yeah, he just kind of gets run over, and a little misstep there. We won't speculate on what it was, but we will speculate on the fact there are only 3 cornerbacks left on the Dallas Cowboys right now, so they may have to get creative with some of their safeties.
From the 47, after Breeze ran for that first down, good hole here. Kyrie Robinson across midfield. Let's take a look at that Dallas defense.
George Selby, South Florida.
Nick Hayden, Wisconsin.
Tom Crawford, Boise State. Jeremy Mincy, Florida.
Bruce Carter, North Carolina.
Rolando McClain, University of Alabama.
Justin Durant, Real HU, Hampton.
Brandon Carr, Grand Valley State.
Barry Church, Toledo.
J.J. Wilcox, Georgia Southern.
Orlando Skandrick, South Central Los Angeles.
So Skandrick, who missed the first 2 games for a PED violation, and they changed the policy to let him come back to the active roster after 2 weeks. Travaris Cadet makes that catch. Mincy stops him. It'll be 3rd down and a short 3.
Yeah, one of the things the Cowboys did a week ago to come back from that 21-0 deficit is they started blitzing a lot, and they really played much better. It seemed to sort of flip a switch, and they were more aggressive in the second half of that game. And Drew Brees, we've seen that before, kind of craning his neck and trying to see the action.
Cadet, and he'll get tripped up for no gain, making it 4th down. Travaris Cadet swinging to the outside, and you've got Armstead, the left tackle, who is slow in getting up for the Saints.
Really nice play there on the part of Orlando Skandrick. And one thing you'll notice in watching some tape on the Saints offensively is that Brandon Cooks, while he's a very exciting receiver, has some real problems as far as trying to make blocks on the edge, and it didn't happen again.
Armstead appears to be okay, was down for just a moment. Good looking young left tackle. Thomas Morstead will send it down toward Dwayne Harris.
think this game could start any better for the Dallas Cowboys.
And the nose down and backspin. Bounces at the 6-yard line.
Oh, it's close.
Yeah, very to hitting him. And the Cowboys will get the ball at the 10 with 3:43 to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 Cowboys. And the Thompson will be there. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon this week on NBC. It's downtown Dallas in the distance, and back we come to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Cowboys will start their second drive from the 11-yard line. Their first 80 yards for a touchdown. And begin it with Murray on the ground. Leads leading ground gainer up to the 15-yard line.
All right, let's go back to the touchdown. A little NBC 360. No doubt about the double coverage there on Des Bryant. But Jarris Byrd is going to come off late and almost make this play. Terrence Williams sprinting across the field, and he knew he's going to take that shot and held on. Very nice play by Terrence Williams, and good recognition by Romo to come right off the double team.
2nd and 5. They empty the backfield. Lance Dunbar comes in, and he is stacked on the left side here. He's the backup to Murray. And Romo, a little dump pass over the middle. A yard short of the first down is Cole Beasley, tackled by Curtis Lofton. It'll be 3rd and 1 up at the 20.
Really good matchup on the outside here. Tyron Smith going up against their best pass rusher, and Junior Gillette already has 2 sacks on the season, and Tyron Smith has hands that just are vice grips. The Cowboys talk about it. They say when he truly gets both hands on somebody, it's over. Nobody escapes from him, and you saw it that time on Gillette.
3rd and 1. They go with 3 tight ends and put Murray back in the game. That's Hanna, the 3rd tight end, serving the role of fullback here. And Murray is able to utilize that to his advantage with a stiff arm. Picks up the first down.
Multi-faceted tackle here. Tyron Smith's going to get out in front of this one this time and do the kick out block. Going to allow DeMarco Murray to turn it up for the first down. Outstanding player, Tyron Smith, in the Pro Bowl a season ago. And he is only going to get better. Really a fun matchup to watch against Robert Quinn and the Rams a week ago. What a fantastic game Tyron Smith had.
He started the resurrection of that offensive line, which had grown old back in 2011. Pass to the outside, caught by Williams, spins away, and Williams up to the 41-yard line for another Cowboy first down. Got away from Corey White.
Well, Al, what's happening is right now the Saints are just playing the run, and it is really making things tough on Corey White on the outside. We talked about Terrence Williams and the speed, but they are really so committed now with 8 guys trying to stop that run, bringing the safety up right around the line of scrimmage, that it's creating some opportunities. So actually the Cowboys throwing it a little more, I think, even than what they thought tonight.
And throwing it brilliantly. 9 of 9 is Romo. Now he hands the ball off to Murray. And another big gain here. First down to the Saints' 41-yard line goes DeMarco Murray, tackled by the safety Raphael Bush.
First round draft pick here, Zach Martin is going to set the tone, and then it's going to be Jason Witten and Ronald Leary pulling around, but that is a nice size hole right there. So now sometimes it works the other way. Al, you know, sometimes you come out and you complete some passes, and all of a sudden the running game sets up. A lot of people think you have to run first, but not necessarily.
A great balance thus far, Chris, with 8 rushes, 9 passes. Already running their 18th play of a quarter that has less than 20 seconds left in it. And now it's Joseph Randle, who's the number 3 running back, taking it to the 41-yard line. And that will take us into the second stanza as the Dallas Cowboys look very sharp in the opening quarter. At home, trying to go to 3-1, leading at the end of one. 7-0. And Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Coverage being brought to you by Geico. And there's a look at the Texas State Fair. And of course, you can see the Cotton Bowl Stadium sits right in the middle of it. Big Tex presiding over the festivities at the Texas State Fair. Back we come to Arlington. On this warm night in the Metroplex, it's 2nd down and 9. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Cowboys on top, 7-0. 2nd and 9. On the first play of the second quarter, and here comes an all-out blitz, and the pass is a little low and incomplete, intended for Lance Dunbar. So forcing the issue, Ryan that time sending the house, and Romo got it off and couldn't get there in time, or on target anyway. 3rd down.
And one thing you do not want to do is encourage that guy to blitz more. That time Tony Romo saw the blitz. He clearly saw it, audibled, back off, had an open receiver, but tried to hit that fadeaway jumper there and came up short. So when you end up not converting against this blitz, typically you see more of it.
Dick Barnett, fallback baby, is the only guy who could have completed that one. 3rd and 9. That's the first incomplete pass from Romo tonight. And a little soft pass is incomplete here, intended for Devin Street, a rookie out of Pittsburgh. He was covered by Jarris Byrd. 4th down.
Yeah, Jarris Byrd is going to come sprinting out here late. And Romo tried to take advantage of it, but there's the high-price safety, Jarris Byrd, that's come over and really made a difference. Forced 1 fumble already, but he has been a turnover machine throughout his career. Came from Buffalo.
High-price safety guarding a 5th-round rookie draft choice. Byrd is back to receive the kick. Chris Jones is the left-footed Dallas punter. And Byrd will fair catch it at the 12-yard line. Breeze will go to back to work when we come back. Early in the second quarter on Sunday Night Football. Home and road, take a look at this. Last 16 regular season games, 2 full seasons worth. 8-0 under the dome, 1-7 when they have to travel. Points per game at home, 34. On the road, only 20 per game. And points allowed at home, just 15, where it's very noisy, very tough for the defense to operate. Road, 26. So here they are on the road. And again, we started out by telling you tonight they're 0-2 on the road to start the season. 1 at home, now back on the road this week. And you can see the difference there with Breeze, home and road. Meanwhile, Bryce Harris is the new left tackle. We saw Armstead get shaken up on the last series, so he is out, at least momentarily. This drive starts from the 12-yard line. And it begins with Robinson trying to cut back the other way. And it's a gain of 3. And we go to Michelle.
Well, yeah, Al, Teron Armstead went to the locker room to be evaluated for a concussion. We'll wait on those results. Meanwhile, Mo Claiborne, the Dallas cornerback, is questionable with a left knee sprain. And when head orthopedist Dan Cooper sent him to the locker room, Claiborne could not put any weight on that left leg, Al.
All right, thank you, Michelle. So Claiborne, who lost his starting role and then comes out in the first quarter, doesn't look good. The new tackle we talked about, Bryce Harris. You saw how Armstead got hurt. Breeze will take this snap out of the gun on 2nd and 7. 4-man rush. Caught over the middle. A little shy of the first post. And home and road, so much is made of this. But the Saints did win a road playoff game last year. Went into Philadelphia and beat them. But the year they won the Super Bowl, they were the #1 seed. It makes a huge difference for this team to play at home, obviously.
It's almost to the point where when we've called games in New Orleans, it's just a matter of how big they're going to win. I mean, we have seen some real blowouts there, and for whatever reason, it just does not translate. I mean, we're playing tonight. I think the roof's still closed up here. And so, I mean, it's the same perfect sort of conditions. Tough to explain.
3rd and 1. That's Austin Johnson, who is the fullback. First-year guy out of Tennessee. They give it to him, and he appears to have the first down.
Well, we have some banged-up offensive linemen now for the Saints. Not only Armstead out, but Jonathan Goodwin, who's playing with an injured ankle. Some doubt as to whether or not he was going to play in this one. So athletically, Goodwin was a guy that I thought was moving great before he got hurt a week ago. And Teron Armstead is probably the fastest offensive lineman there is in football. And they use him a lot on pitches, a lot on some of those screen plays.
Johnson did pick up the first down. The ball is at the 23. Breeze, play action, under pressure, throws, gets it away as he was knocked to the ground, and it turns out to be a first down as Tyree Robinson makes the catch. Tyrone Crawford came very close to getting the sack. Breeze was going down, was able to get it away, and it turns into a gain of 12.
Tyrone Crawford, I think right here, is going to take one of the great guards in the NFL, Jari Evans, straight backwards. Crawford now is playing inside in what's called a 3 technique because everybody else is hurt, but they really have high hopes for him inside at that key position.
And it's caught on a slant this time by the rookie Cooks. Brandon Cooks has 18 receptions coming into the game. They picked him #1 out of Oregon State. Drew Brees said, you know, I don't follow the draft that closely, but Sean Payne came to me and he said, you're going to love this guy.
Yeah, he says he runs 4.33, and his greatest attribute is what kind of guy he is. In practice, they say he's 100 miles an hour, whether it's a walkthrough or anything else. I've never seen higher or heard higher praise for a young player.
From the 47-yard line, over the middle and getting free is Marcus Colston to the 31-yard line. They've been doing that together for a lot of years. His 9th year in the league out of Hofstra. That's a perfect 7 for 7 for Breeze right now. 21 yards on this play.
All right, here we go. Right up the seam here, which is something you know the Saints love to do. And so is the middle linebacker, Bruce Carter's got to get back. But look at the touch pass up over the top, down before the safety could get there. Stretch that neck up and try and see over the top, as only he does.
From the 31 to the ground again, Robinson with a big 2 playoff games. Anthony Spencer, haven't called his name in over a year because he hasn't played in over a year. Got hurt in training camp last year. Then came back, played a small part of 1 game, and then they put him on IR, so his first action in a year.
Well, if the Cowboys are going to truly make a run this year, it may fall on how well Anthony Spencer can play. They desperately need somebody to get pressure on the quarterback. So far, the defensive line of the Cowboys, only half a sack combined, so maybe Spencer coming back, maybe Tyrone Crawford inside. They all hope it helps.
2nd and 9. And that pass is thrown low and incomplete. Henry Milton putting the pressure on the former Chicago Bear. And that will make it 3rd down and 9 from the Dallas 30-yard line. The Saints, they are noted for showing you every different formation under the sun through the first 15 plays. They've run 7 times, passed the ball 8 times for 83 yards, and used 15 different formations or personnel groupings. Pierre Thomas now flanks Breeze on 3rd down and 9. Play clock to 3 as Breeze slides to his left and then throws, and the tackle is made a couple of yards shy of the first by Benjamin Watson. So it's going to be 4th down here. Barry Church makes the tackle. And they're going to send in the field goal unit.
It's really interesting. Justin Durant sort of faked a blitz off the edge and then ran right by Ben Watson coming across. I thought Durant was just going to level him at that point and sort of backed off, and they came close to picking up that 1st down.
Shane Graham for a 41-yard attempt. Graham's kick is no good. Wide to the right. So a 5.5-minute drive comes up with 0. 7-0 Dallas. Subway, home of the famous $5 footlong. By Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. By Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. And by Volkswagen TDI Clean Diesel. Friday Night Lights in Texas. Allen High School extending the winning streak to 32 games the other night as they beat Marcus 35-24. Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Cowboys now from the 31 after the missed field goal by Graham. And Romo starts this drive facing a blitz. And whoa, what a shot taken by Lance Dunbar by Bird, but he hangs on, gets up, and has the first down.
Some gutsy catches tonight by the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go, coming right down the middle. Again, you know you're going to get it. There's Jarris Bird, does a nice job getting his head out of there, hitting with the shoulder, perfectly clean. Who says you can't have big contact in the NFL anymore?
Who said that?
Play. I don't know, probably.
Who'd that say that?
Probably me.
From the 43, DeMarco Murray, the running back, and he gets it. And he picks up a couple across the 45-yard line. Bunkley making the stop. Well, Tony Romo, the last time we were in Dallas last year, they were fighting for a playoff spot, and Tony had to undergo back surgery. Kyle Orton got the start, close game, and then Tony had to rehab all winter.
Yeah, and he did not look anything close to what Tony Romo usually looks like in week one. 3 interceptions in that game, and he said he came out of that game thinking, is this it? Is this what I'm going to be going forward now after that surgery? But since then, he's done a lot of core work and seems to be throwing it better.
Takes Wednesdays off every week during practice. On 2nd and 7, the catch is made here by Des Bryant. So he sees his first action of the night. Gets it to the New Orleans 39-yard line. First down.
Always lots of attention out here on Des Bryant. Keenan Lewis right in his face. Safety over the top. And really for Tony Romo, he threw it high. That's the spot you want. You watch practice long enough, Des Bryant makes those types of catches all the time. Really strong hands, loves the physical aspect of football. Not all receivers do.
To the ground again. And Murray for a hard yard. It was Bryant's 21st catch of the season, leading the club.
Let's go back and look at week one and Tony Romo. What he was talking about with us was he just simply could not push off and rotate those hips. If you play golf as well as Al Michaels does, you know you have to fire those hips to make a throw. And basically, he's just going to sort of drag that back leg around, and you can see a bit of discomfort. Tonight, there's that hip snap, and nice throw.
Speaking of golf, that's one thing that Tony had to give up, and he scratched, so he's not going to fool around with that anymore. DeMarco Murray to the 33-yard line.
And we know how hard that would be to say, all right, I'm a scratch golfer. I'm going to give it up. He said, I'll take it up again when my football playing career is over. I guess with what he's making, that's a decent trade-off.
He made a big point about the torque the other night and the pressure there. And, of course, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones have made Stephen in the shirt and Jerry Jr. off to Jerry Jones's left shoulder. They made a pretty good investment in number 9.
They sure did. Big bet.
3rd and 5. Play clock down to 3. And Romo buys time, steps up. Wobbly pass is incomplete. And so that'll make it 4th down. Hicks comes in to put the heat on Romo, and they're going to send in the field goal group for a long attempt.
He just threw this one across his body. Here he goes. His body is straight ahead, but he got some pressure and tried to fire it out to the right, and this thing just completely got away from him. You could see him sort of drag that back hip around again. The one thing he is concerned about, he said, when I'm torqued, if I get hit in that position, it is like double the shot you would take ordinarily.
28 straight for Bailey. This is a 51-yarder. They're trying to make it 29, and he has just been terrific. 51-yarder, got it by plenty. 5.5 to go in the half. 10-0 Dallas. Coming Saturday, the Fighting Irish look for payback from last year's tough loss to the Stanford Cardinal. Notre Dame 4-0 after last night's win at the Meadowlands against Syracuse. You'll see it 3 Eastern on NBC next Saturday. The Dallas Cowboys at home on this Sunday night, 10-0. And Bailey to the end zone for a touchback. 5:38 left in the half. Breeze will go back to work, trailing by 10. And Luis Chaparro is a senior at North Dallas High School. So on Friday out here on the Today Show as part of the We Make Football package, he attempted and made a 20-yard field goal, and by so doing he gets to bring his entire team to the game tonight, and he led the Dallas Cowboys out onto the field tonight. What a thrill. Lifetime memory for that kid, and a few thank you notes coming from his teammates as Bree starts this drive with the first catch of the night made by Jimmy Graham up to the 27-yard line. So Jimmy Graham, a nightmare matchup for any team. 6'7", 265, fifth year in the league, and before it's all said and done, boy, this guy could be as good as it ever gets.
Yeah, that's what Drew Brees was telling us. He said, you know, Jimmy Graham's had an unbelievable career, obviously. I mean, every time you turn around, he's breaking another record. And he said, I really don't think he's even close to what he's going to be, which is a frightening thought.
Second down and 2, and that's tipped, and it's intercepted at the 39-yard line. Justin Durant comes up with the interception. Bruce Carter, who had an interception last week in St. Louis, was the guy who tipped it.
For Bruce Carter, a pick 6 a week ago to clinch that ball game. And here he goes one more time. Nice read. Usually Drew Brees can look off these linebackers. But that time Carter able to get a piece of it. And Durant comes up with a big interception. So far, this sort of much maligned Dallas Cowboys defense has been taking it to the New Orleans Saints.
And the ebullient Jason Garrett, there they are. One tipping it to the other. The pick on a pass intended for Meacham. That was the first time he'd been targeted tonight. So Dallas starts at the 39-yard line. Fake the end around. And then dump it off underneath to Lance Dunbar for a big gain down the sideline. Stays in bounds and takes it inside the 10-yard line.
A lot of these linemen, because Tony Romo had to pump fake, were way down the field on that screen pass and gave them a bit of an edge, but no issue, I suppose. That play was expected from a lineman standpoint to be one fake and dump it out of there. He had to sort of pump fake it and work around, and the timing of it from the lineman standpoint was off.
He stepped out at the 15-yard line. So they spot it there after a 24-yard gain. They run the delay, and there goes Murray in for the touchdown. A smiling Linehan, you saw him on the right, and a very concerned Ryan on the other sideline.
Let me just tell you something. Jason Witten is one of the great players in the game. Watch this block. Not only does he make it against Junior Gillette, but he gets him turned. He gets on the good side of him by being able to flip around. Now you pin that guy inside, and it leaves all kinds of room for Murray on the outside. Look at Witten. He knew that was his play.
So after the interception, 2 plays, 39 yards. It's the most I've ever seen Garrett smile during a game. There's been a lot to smile about tonight.
Amazing.
Bailey for the point after. 4:03 left in the opening half. Pretty stunning. 17-0 Dallas. / Hispanic heritage. You hear the league's greatest Latino success stories. SNF tribute us. Lighten up the facade of the Omni Hotel back to AT&T Stadium, where the Saints are trying to get it going. Their first drive ended with a punt, then a missed field goal on the second drive, then an interception, and they've been blanked through the first 26 minutes of the game. And this is Cadet, who will take a knee in the end zone. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys are very fortunate that the officials kept their flags in their pockets here.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're doing. You see Romo having to fake, but Zach Martin out of Notre Dame. He's got to be at least 5 or 6 yards downfield. It looks like Ronald Leary is about the same. And because of that pump fake, I don't know how they missed that one. But it was a big play. Instead of 20 yards for the Cowboys, it should have been in reverse.
Should have been a first and 20. So now Breeze trying to get something started here, and the Dallas Cowboys defense stiffening as Kyrie Robinson gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage, 2nd and long.
Now this is one of those plays that Teron Armstead maybe could hook the defensive end on the outside, but not quite as athletic out of Bryce Harris. So it is not going to be easy tonight with this banged up offensive line to run the football. So you would expect, especially now with Morris Claiborne out, maybe some spread formations and try and put more corners on the field.
Breeze on 2nd and 10. Oh, that's almost picked up. Scandrick jumping the play in front of Marcus Colston. Going to make it 3rd down. Now Scandrick comes up limping. So Claiborne back in the locker room, and now Scandrick limps back toward the huddle.
Gutsy play by Scandrick. There's nobody behind him. He sees this ball thrown and breaks up. If that had been one of those Drew Brees pump fakes, it would have been about an 80-yard touchdown going the other way. But Scandrick, it's interesting, he gives Rob Ryan a ton of credit for giving him a chance and believing in him. He was really the guy that picked out Orlando Scandrick.
Let's see if Breeze goes that way, because Scandrick is hurting, and it's a juggling catch by Cooks. Forward progress will not net him a first down. 1.5 yards shy of it, and so it's 4th down, and the Saints punting group comes in again.
I tell you, this Bruce Carter is a guy that was really not thought of as being very instinctive and whatever, but he is making plays all over the place the last 2 games. Here he is just in zone coverage. I think without question, maybe Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers, some top-end guys, but Drew Brees looks off linebackers as well as anybody, and so far Carter's been all over it.
Morstead gets the kick away. Harris going for a fair catch and makes it at the 23-yard line. So the Dallas Cowboys doing everything right tonight. Have the ball again and lead 17-zip. Few years have had to rebuild that offensive line, and there they are. The average age just 25.4. Doug Free is 30. Everybody else, of course, is in their 20s. They picked Smith in the 1st round in 11, Frederick last year, Martin this year. They did have a good offensive line for a lot of years, and everybody got old in a hurry, and they've rebuilt it in a hurry, and right now it's one of the best in the league.
They really committed to it. 3 #1 picks.
Moving right through the middle of that line and getting a lot more. There's Murray, and Murray almost broke it all the way. Gets tackled from behind at the 45 by Corey White.
Well, here's what you get when you draft somebody in the 1st round. Zach Martin going to get up on 2 blocks on that one. He was the 2-time captain at Notre Dame and a guy that played left and right tackle. So what does he play in the pros? Of course, right guard. But they talk about how intelligent Zach Martin and Travis Frederick are together, those 2 inside players.
84 yards on the ground for Murray tonight, and we come to the 2-minute warning. Toyota halftime coming up. The 49ers come from behind to beat Philadelphia. Aaron Rodgers told the fans, relax. And then he goes out and he throws 4 touchdown passes. They're relaxed. Bob and Hines weigh in on the 1st half on the Toyota halftime. 2 minutes to intermission from the 45-yard line. Romo on 1st and 10. And that's a 9-yard gain, and that is Bryant, who goes down and gets up again, but he was down by Keenan Lewis, tackled there after a gain of 9 yards.
I'd say this is brilliant. Watch Des Bryant right at the catch take a step back to avoid that hit. He knows on those slants that those Saints safeties are targeting a big shot on him. So what does he do? He breaks severely to the left, catches it in his hands, and nearly picks up that 1st down. Nice play.
Moving target, 2nd and 1. Cowboys have all of their timeouts. Romo, back shoulder and incomplete that time. Bryant covered there by Keenan Lewis. It'll be 3rd down and 1 for Dallas.
You just wonder if maybe now they're starting to have a little faith in Keenan Lewis on the outside, because if they don't have to double Dez, it gives them an opportunity to either blitz or help elsewhere. And so far, it hasn't been Dez Bryant that's been hurting him. Maybe a little more trust now in Keenan Lewis, or at least try that.
3rd and 1, heavy package this time. Tyler clutches the fullback. He fronts Murray. Hannah sets up on a wing to the right. And DeMarco Murray will get that first down. Keeps the legs going. First down at the 44-yard line.
I believe the Saints played that one with 10. Corey White was running off the field and turned around and looked confused, but he officially just left the field, so they end up having to try and stop that one with 10 guys without success.
Good pickup. They sent 6 guys off the field when they saw the heavy package and only sent 5 onto the field. And then Romo throws incomplete, intended for Dez Bryant down the right sideline with 45 seconds left in the half.
It's great coverage by Keenan Lewis. This is the matchup that I would want. I think that this is the one. If the Saints are going to be able to get back in this game, they have to take their best cover guy and try it against Dez Bryant. Keenan Lewis came from Pittsburgh. He grew up here in New Orleans. Wanted to take a shot in free agency. Did sort of refuse the offer of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he has been their star here in New Orleans.
That's Harris, top of the screen near the sideline. Pass will go to him, and Harris with a nice juke move. First down and a lot more, and Harris will get taken down with a flag down at about the 15-yard line. Penalty markers back up at the 34. And Gene Steratore indicating this one's going to come back as the Cowboys.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Cowboys move back toward midfield. Doug Free, the right tackle.
Now, sometimes right here, you can get away with things. That's a pretty good acting job by Jarris Byrd, who just sort of sold the official there. I'm not sure there was an actual grab of that jersey or not. Veteran play there, because that one was going to be a problem.
Father might have told him that Gilbert was a great defensive back for San Diego for many years.
Scat left, 50.
So the ball back at the 44-yard line. And on second down, the catch is made by Beasley. So they're in field goal range now, ball at the 34-yard line, and Dallas will take a timeout with a half-minute left in the opening half.
Oh, so did you hear the new iPhone is out?
It's one of those games where time of possession is significant, because Dallas wanted to shorten the game. In other words, don't give New Orleans any more possessions than necessary. They had a long first drive. They've controlled every aspect of the game, and right now with 2 timeouts have a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Ordinarily, when you think blitz out of Rob Ryan to try and drive him out of field goal range.
And instead, they're deeper into field goal range, and Witten wants to get out of bounds, and he does at the 23-yard line. So that saves a timeout. 24 seconds remaining in the half.
They did get a blitz, and watch DeMarco Murray right here. This is when you become a great back, when you can run like he does, when you can pick up a blitz and make them pay for trying to blitz your quarterback.
He took Humber out of the play. 17-0 Dallas with 24 seconds, and Romo on the 1st and 10 from the 23.
Now they have Dez in the slot and Keenan Lewis outside. I'm going to guess they're going to like that matchup over there against Corey White.
Romo looking the other way, and it's caught for the touchdown by Terrence Williams. Two touchdowns tonight for Terrence Williams, 4 on the season. Matched up on the rookie Brian Dixon.
Like the matchup against the rookie free agent, even better. What a first half right now for Terrence Williams. 2 touchdown passes, everything going right. The protection has been masterful, regardless of blitz, no blitz. Somewhere even Jimmy Johnson may be saying, how about them Cowboys?
So Bailey to try to make it 24-0. You know, Chris, I'm thinking about, the Cowboys, who engender more love and hate than any team in the National Football League, and have for years. And everybody's always saying, the naysayers are saying, they're no good. But others are saying, they have so much talent, what's wrong with this team? And they go 8-8 in each of the last 3 years. This year they come in, and most people said, they're no good. The expectations, I think, for the Dallas Cowboys this year were lower than I can remember in a number of years.
Well, it's because they've been drafting boring players. Offensive linemen are not exciting draft picks. Johnny Football, there was always that discussion, are they going to draft him? Instead, what they've done over the past 3 or 4 years is rebuild this offensive line. And if you go back to the great teams of the Dallas Cowboys when Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin were playing, they got all the attention, and justifiably so. They're great players. But at their core, they were great on the offensive and defensive lines. And right now, with the way that they've patiently rebuilt this offensive line, they're beginning to look a little bit like a team that may be able to run the football consistently. And if they do, the passing attack is going to come to life.
Loss on opening day to San Francisco here. Then they went to Tennessee, beat the Titans. That was sort of expected. Fell behind 21-0 to the Rams last week, and then pulled off the victory. And tonight they have just been dynamic. With NFL Now, never miss another game highlight ever. Subscribe today, you'll get instant game highlights on every mobile device. Download the NFL Now app today. Learn more at NFL.com/now. It's the new AT&T Live Effects board as they keep adding new treats here. There's Charlotte Jones-Anderson, who has a lot to do with how this place operates, and most people who come into this stadium say they've never been to a better one. Pierre Thomas will take the ball up to the 27, and the Saints just want to get to that locker room and rethink a whole bunch of stuff.
This is stunning on a lot of levels. This is a Dallas Cowboys defense that they were making fun of them a season ago, and they are shutting down the New Orleans Saints now.
Saints get the second half kickoff, 24-0. Coming up next, it's the Toyota halftime.
Go places.
The Dallas defense shuts Drew Brees out in the first half. Meanwhile, the league's leading rusher, DeMarco Murray, 87 yards and a touchdown. Tony Romo, 17 of 22, 2 TDs, no picks. How about this? Dallas 24-0 at the half. To Dan and Tony in the studio.
All right, Bob, thank you. We gave Rodney Harrison the rest of the evening off. Pretty much the same for the New Orleans Saints. Where's the offense? Where's the defense?
I predicted Dallas to win, but I'm shocked, Dan. No explosiveness out of this New Orleans offense.
All right, coming up, Tony will talk about the two teams that may have saved their seasons with wins today. We'll talk about that. The highlights from Week 4 as we go around the league. Buffalo at Houston. Texans trailed by 3 in the second half, and then J.J. Watt did this in the postseason a couple of years ago against the Bengals. Second touchdown of the season. Texans have surpassed their win total from last year. Carolina and Baltimore, all Baltimore, and Steve Smith, the former Panther. 139 yards, 2 touchdowns today. The Ravens win big. Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh. Buccaneers, the big comeback as Mike Glennon finds Vincent Jackson with 12 seconds to go. Tampa gets its first win of the year, 27-24. Atlanta at Minnesota. Teddy Bridgewater threw for 317, ran for a score. He did suffer an ankle injury. He'll have an MRI on Monday, but he says he expects to play Thursday against Green Bay. Green Bay at Chicago. Bears trailed by only 4 at halftime. The 2 second-half interceptions by Jay Cutler proved costly. Packers scored 24 unanswered points to win comfortably. Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdown passes, 2 of them to Jordy Nelson, 2 of them to Randall Cobb. Detroit at the Jets. The Jets secondary. Defense is optional. That's Jeremy Ross from Matthew Stafford. Stafford threw for nearly 300 yards. The Jets have now lost 3 in a row. Philadelphia at San Francisco. Darren Sproles gave the Eagles a 21-10 lead. The longest punt return touchdown of his career, 82 yards. But the Niners scored 16 unanswered points, snapping a 2-game losing streak. Thanks to Stevie Johnson's first touchdown as a Niner. With Philadelphia's loss, the Bengals and Cardinals are the only remaining undefeated teams in the NFL. Tony, how big was this win for the San Francisco 49ers?
Well, that was huge. They're chasing Seattle. They've lost 2 in a row. Rumblings, what's wrong with the 49ers? What they did today, they got back to their roots. They played great defense, they played physical, and they ran Frank Gore. That's how they're going to win games.
Okay, Philadelphia comes out there undefeated. Offense has been playing great in the second half. What happened to Philadelphia?
Well, I know Chip Kelly, and even though they won their first